Let me be careful here, because there's some cars coming. I can cross. Cool. I've been reasonably happy. Usually people say, oh, I've been unreasonably happy, or I've been happy for no reason, or it just came out of nowhere. But I have a reason to be happy. Remember what I was saying yesterday for a little bit? I just made a short video, just being able to just digest it all in. Because I still had, quote unquote, midweek, and I still had to go to Bible talk. Well, we're on our way out the door. We're out. We're about to be free so soon. I cannot wait, bro. Oh my goodness, my older brother got me so good. So now in depth, I can explain what we got going on. Today is Thursday, the last day of April, which is quite a great ending to the month. It is quite a big step in my life as I continue to look to be better, look to improve the ways I've been expressing myself, the ways I've been looking for a place in this world. And I don't just stay stuck in this bubble that I have shoved myself in for so long. It'll take a lot of time still for me to just get over the hump. Oh wait, I'm gonna get something from the store. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm out the store. I got some Arizona. Yes, the cans are still $1, so at least we got the can. We'll do a little wiping a bit. Gotta clean this a bit. So we are very reasonably happy as of yesterday and today. I still got a lot of work to do. I still got to push my life into a better direction. I still be chilling. I just got to take a bit more action with how I approach myself, just moving forward, especially with a new chapter in my life, another new chapter, which is life post my Christian timeline. I was a Christian for a year and almost 3 months. It would be 3 months if I went past May. I didn't survive past May. It was a lot quicker than I anticipated and longer than I anticipated, if you guys understand. So I'll explain before I talk about what was going on within the call, because I have a half an hour call with my older brother. So the reason why I say this is because it took longer, because I should have spoke up about this the moment it started popping up, like all the doubts, all the concerns. I mean, I can understand myself why I halted my exit. I can understand that. Like, I didn't really know what was going on. You know, I had my extreme doubts from the first time I went back. But I didn't really want to go too much off the first experience. I just started going a little bit more, and then all of a sudden, the more I talked to these people, now the concerns started to come back to me. And it's just crazy because over the course of time, I didn't really come to a particular conclusion that this would ever come to fruition. This wouldn't mean much, but it's super significant. It's crazy. You don't really know until you really continue on with this journey. Like, I continue dabbling into this space. Like, who would have thought that these people aren't what they think they are? That they're a lot more egotistical than I think they were. I didn't know religious people were this egotistical. I didn't know religious people were this dense. It's been a minute. It's a drastic difference between when I was a child being a Christian and when I became older. You see, my younger brothers, they're in the space too. The problem is with them is that they haven't gotten enough of the experience. They haven't gotten the time and space to be adaptable. Not because of, oh, they're not Christian, they haven't been baptized yet, but they haven't also been in a position to learn how to reflect and reflect with some precision. And that's okay. They're young. They're living their own lives and they have to learn. And I don't blame them for getting to the faith at all or staying in it even. You just have to experience it for what it is. And they also have to really be careful. Because for me, it didn't end off good. But at least I'm able to exit my own way. And I don't have to allow certain conflicts to dictate it. I can exit on my own. That's the whole point. I didn't want to exit sourly. I didn't want to make other people's lives harder. That wasn't the premise. That's why I was so nice to them, giving them multiple passes, give them kindness, even if I was in a position where I want to leave or I didn't really like them like that. Because in ultimatum, it's not just about me, it's about how I give my all, regardless if I don't like these people, regardless if I think different or in higher expectation of them compared to, oh, yeah, now I'm supposed to be giving you a high expectation. You're supposed to be completely different. You're not supposed to be not even just the exact same person, but you're not even supposed to even be in New York right now. You're supposed to be in overseas in most cases. You're not supposed to be in this capitalist society. You should be like in Africa. You should be in the Middle East. You should be in Israel. You should be in Switzerland. Somewhere that's not mostly infiltrated in the US. This is a crunch bar, by the way. I don't just say these things just to say these things. I genuinely mean it. These people should not, for the most part, be living in the US. Especially if they're Christian. Because then it just contradicts what they've been expressing to me and what they've been talking about. There's a squirrel right next to me. Yo, that's cool though. They ain't hurting nobody though. That just caught me off guard. I need to find another seat. Or what I do want to do is sit in that open bench, because there's an open bench now. I haven't found a proper open bench yet. That's why I was sitting in that area. But I'm telling y'all, I set really high expectations because they set themselves up for the high expectations. I don't give it to them just because they want that expectation, you know? They want the expectation of, oh, we want to be considered real Christians. So actually be a real Christian, man. Don't be fake. But yeah, they don't want you. They don't want to be real Christians. They don't want to be perceived, they want the status, but they don't want to actually emulate it. That's fine. Then again, then the expectations become lower when you want it higher. And that's my problem. You have too high of an ego and you think you can just tell me what to do. Even with your 30 years, 20 years, 40 years of experience. I know I didn't say that in chronological order, but I don't care. And you still try to act as if you're not in the exact same space and spot I'm in. It's not even just the fact that that's not how it works. I'm not going to be constantly just taking your command and acting as if I need to just follow what you're saying just because you have some type of experience. Go out of country. Go out of state. You can't just be settling with one church. The problem is I see most of these people for over that time span. There's no significant changes. It's just stagnation on stagnation and nonsense. So, again, let me break another piece of a chocolate. Why would I take your word for any morals that you try to set on me when you don't even follow them yourself? And not even just that. But do you really want human beings to constantly tell you what to do? Especially in terms of how you should take certain suggestions? Obedience is love. Oh, really? So, if you tell me to grab a gun without a license, am I going to be obedient to you? So when does this obedience thing work? When does this obedience and love work? How does this work? How does the overall regime work? Because it doesn't work in every situation. That makes no sense. I'd probably be in jail by now if I used obedience is love type of conundrum. That don't work, buddy. It don't work. Obedience is love. And you just tell me to shout a bunch of weird slogans and shit to people that I don't like. Weird remarks. Weird slurs. So if you tell me that I'm supposed to comply, it's just mad inconsistent. It just generalizes a bit too much and it doesn't give the overall bigger picture context. It just basically just shoves you into a particular wall and you just have to just face it. You can't question it. You can't be concerned. You can't just delve deep into why they're thinking like this. You just have to just take it. You can't disagree. You can't give a counterpoint. You can't counter argue. You can't even debate about it. Dude, even in a general hindsight, there are still Christians out here debating other atheists. Then why can't we argue? Why can't we have discussions, like serious, intense discussions? You want to talk about uncomfortable conversations? Why is there no debate space? Why is there no space for us to argue what we disagree upon, what we concerned about? Why is it everything needs to be, I need to just comply and just listen to everything you do and just say, hey man, preach brother, to everything you say? It's just laughable to me how none of this adds up. And it's not even just because it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't have any structure. It just flows off nonsense. It flows off, oh, whatever I say goes. If I were to do that, if I were to initiate and cultivate that same energy, you would hate it. Because I'm a very transparent person, and when I'm transparent, it's a problem. The reason why it's a problem is because I don't not just hold back, but I don't use these freaking moral codes, these freaking mental gymnastics, Jackie Chan style type of motivators within me, or motives, just to get my point across, or just for me to accept you. I don't do the whole, oh, but we invite and we like people. We invite all types of people. No, you don't. You still talk trash about them anyways. You still talk trash about them in the sermon. Like last year, our leader was talking mad trash about trans people in the car ride. Just unprovoked after service. Unprovoked. or a leader talking smack about women during Pride Month, just throwing them under the bus when they're talking about, oh, men can just turn to women all of a sudden. Dude, that's a jab at women. Do you not understand how you're initiating your responses, right? If you think masculinity is under attack and you're playing this victim card, this persecution gimmick, this card, I thought we need actual tips and we need to hold each other responsible, accountable. I thought we're supposed to be leaders, set example. That's not being a leader. That's not setting example. Talking shit about trans people in a random car ride with your niece in there, your wife in there, my family in there, and my 2 little brothers in the back that I was sitting in between with. Does that look like being a leader? Oh, but they're not in God's love. They need to go to God and love them. That's the point I'm making. That's not being a leader, buddy. That's just you being a complete beta. It's pathetic behavior. I don't care if you were homophobic one time. I don't care if you were homophobic twice and all the other times you didn't really say much. All I needed was that one moment for me to dissect your entire character. Even if it's been almost a whole year later, which is crazy to say, of that happening, I still hold that as a part of your character against you, like others say. It's not just I'm just using it as a push-pull method against you. You said it yourself. You said it straight up. So I'm not using it against you. You're the one that literally said it. The only reason why you think that I'm using it against you is because now you finally realize you didn't make the point that you thought you were making. You got caught red-handed being weird. I'm not just calling you homophobic because you talk trash about them. I'm calling you homophobic because you said these things straight up, and then in the next round, you want to act as if everybody's against you. This whole church space, this whole purpose of this church space is so that they can just use this victim card so that people can excuse their garbage behavior. Anytime they act garbage, anytime. I see right through all of it. You want to talk about, I can read through hearts when they're in Christ or not. Well, I can read through you past through that. I don't even think that you're not a real Christian. I just think that in general hindsight, it doesn't matter how much good moments we have. What matters is that you really aren't in God's love like you think you are. You, in fact, in certain cases, are a piece of shit. Like, yes, you're a leader. Sometimes you have to be strict in certain cases, but in other cases, you're just a straight up asshole. Just like my region leader. One of my region leaders that at least was a part of my prayer calls every morning. He's also an asshole. It is what it is, okay? This is not just me throwing shade. If I threw shade, you would know that already. But this is the problem. This is not shade. This is what they projected to me and some other people straight up. This is the behavior that they initiated themselves. This is what they put out to the world. And they want to act as if, oh, they're not just portraying it, or they want to twist it like, oh, this is a completely different message I'm trying to send them. No, you said this straight up that you hate gay people. No, you said straight up that you hate trans people. You don't have to just be like, I hate trans people. I hate gay people. I hate people that are not Christians. Catholicism is fake Christianity. I hate Catholics so much. You don't have to tell me that. I can just tell. I will know already. Just by how you initiate yourself. Oh, but it's not that I hate gay people. Oh, but it's not that I hate Muslims and this, that, and the third. Yes, you do. Stop maneuvering and doing mental gymnastics and putting on this persecution gimmick. I'm not falling for it anymore. You have a problem with being straight up honest. You have a problem with not taking your mask off and just stop praying pretend for once. You have a problem with that. You have a problem with thinking outside of your own echo chamber. You have a problem with not allowing other people to give their perspective. Like I talked about in one of the midweeks we had in December, talking about, oh, I'm just preparing for the men's to be on battle, like we're in war. Like, shut up, please. Shut up. You see it now, right, guys? I'm not confused anymore. I was, but continuing to reflect upon it and digging deep, they told me everything. They told me as much as they possibly can. And I see right through them. This is who they are. I don't care about how many times you were singing and praising to the Lord every Sunday. How much you took song leading every Wednesday. It doesn't matter anymore. And it's not because, oh, you're not a good person. That's not the point. It's not to paint you as only a bad person. You can still have quality traits. What overflows you though, what overtakes that entire phenomenon is how you try so hard to erase that past. How much you pretend to act like you don't make mistakes and you don't make gradual shortcomings. Yeah, but you don't specify though. You say that, but you don't specify what you did. Oh, but I'm not supposed to press the button to move it. I think you should. I think you should. You want to talk about setting boundaries? I don't even know what you guys really think about setting boundaries, but the way you guys talk and the way you guys maneuver, it seems like you don't like setting boundaries like that. Or you just don't care. That's a problem. Because I remember a leader talking about, I saw my brother get killed by my babysitter right in front of me, and I still had to learn to forgive her years later. I still have to forgive her because God wants me to forgive. Why would you forgive somebody that literally killed your entire blood? Why? Like, you have to set the boundary. You know yourself that this is your brother for life that you saw straight up be gone in a second, but you want to forgive that person because Christ told me to. No, there's a certain time to disobey, okay? There's a certain time to not listen. You don't listen because somebody else ruined potentially a part of your life and traumatized you, give you so much stress, so much grief, because they partially ruined your life. They killed off somebody that you could have potentially connected with more, but you want to forgive. You don't set the boundary. You aren't responsible. You aren't the leader that you told me and other people to be. So, Mr. Shane, so does that mean that one instance in certain situations means that you're exactly that person? Yes, in certain cases. Because if you're that bold enough to even talk about it from the get-go, then that basically means that you put yourself in a prime position to have so much to talk about. You have so much to say. Dude, you were having a deep conversation about trans people. Dude, that was not just a one-time thing. You thought about this in multiple occasions. You have went through this same type of train multiple times. I could tell. Nobody just says it straight up. Nobody just goes to a random car ride after we were talking about the economic state of the world and just randomly transitions it to trans people. Nobody just straight up just creates a whole church or midweek lesson and then just straight up just, oh, I want to just randomly throw strays at women. I want to randomly throw strays at the LGBTQ community on Pride Month, by the way. You don't just do that because it slipped up. You don't just do that because this is the first time I ever did that thing. No, these guys were so passionate about saying it. And that's my point. If you were super passionate enough for you to even have more to say than just the baseline, that's who you are. It's different if you accidentally slipped up or you made a dumb, stupid, dumbass mistake of, oh my goodness, I said and I intentionally messed up and fell short of this particular thing. It's one thing to do that, and another to have such heart and soul to be like going more in depth on why you think they need God more than you think. And the crazy part is, I talked for most of this video about these people's true senses of character, and I'm not even finished yet. I was supposed to be talking about how my call with my brother went, and I took most of that time to talk about their true flawed nature. But that flawed nature, it's not that they don't want to expose it, because they already exposed it, but they don't want to address it more. I'm supposed to be talking about how my older brother was actually listening to me. So I'll do that for a little bit before we end off this video. I think this is going to be part one. And I think this should be part one of this entire life. It went absolutely better than I anticipated, because I did not think that he would be this open and this understanding with me. It's not that I don't trust him. I don't trust my older brothers to be not having my back. I knew they would have my back, but to this degree, whew, I got a lot of stress, nervousness, anxiety. Hell, if I wasn't able to address it to certain people by a certain timeline in this stage, I'd probably fall into depression. I seriously would. I would get my first taste of depression, because I was already completely out of this church space by the middle of April, and I was just not with it anymore. I would fall into depression, and I'm so glad he particularly saved my life. Even he did. I'm not even joking. So we spent 30 minutes basically again just talking about what I was going through, and I said everything I've been talking about. I didn't bring up specific timelines and dates and who's doing this to me, and I was just saying in a general sense, I don't like how these people think so highly of themselves and think that they're the best of the best and this is the best space, and they think that everyone else is either gimmicking it or they just inferior, like a superiority complex, I could have said. Still, there's a part 2 coming, guys. Before I end off this video, I want to talk about my last ride in midweek, because I was in New Jersey for a good chunk of yesterday because I was supporting my cousin who had cancer, and he was on the baseball team, and he was throwing a ceremonial first pitch for donations to people who have cancer at a particular hospital. It was such a drastic experience in my life. My cousin, who is 16, 17 pretty soon, right? Yeah, pretty soon he's gonna be 17. It's wild. He got diagnosed in like 4 months ago. It's pretty wild again. So we went to see him pitch, and we saw like a few of the first inning. His team was getting cooked low key, and yeah, we just left. We ate some burgers, some fries. I ate 2 slices of pizza, and then when we were on our way home and it was raining outside, we were driving for like an hour and a half back. Well, it was an hour and a half ride because we went to get Wingstop. And I hopped into midweek purposely very late. And it was congregational, so I didn't really have to be super present. And I didn't want to be super present anyway, so I hopped in super late. It was around the time where our homophobic leader was preaching the lesson about praying. I didn't really know what it was about at all because I didn't listen, I didn't care. I just wanted to be there so I could just tell my stuff out, oh, I was there. And he doesn't have to question, oh, was I there? Like, I just want that shit lifted off my shoulders. Oh yeah, and the moment that the lesson ended, and then he brought up, oh, we're gonna be in breakout rooms now, I left immediately. I just did. And because I was about to leave the car anyways, I just left. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to any of you. Nope, goodbye. Oh man, I love my life. I love my life post this church base, man. Whew. The part 2 is coming out maybe tomorrow. Hell, I could post this Saturday even, or Sunday, Monday. I wanna post it sooner than having to wait a few days. So hopefully tomorrow I can post something. Part 2, because I think it's too deep. I didn't think it would be too deep. I was exposing these people's flawed senses of character. Oh man, I'm gonna have so much fun because I'm not in this space anymore. I'm officially free, and by the time we get that talk with the parents, probably tomorrow, I'm gonna be so spiritually uplifted because I'm not restricting myself anymore. Still gonna get it together, and I'm also still gonna be celebrating. It's over for them. It's so over for them. It's over. Everybody's getting the jab. Everybody. They put it out. They put out that energy. It's not just me.